afternoon, and thanks for joining us on Midday at 12:30. It is Friday, and it is the Fridayest of Fridays. Thankfully, I am Amber Freeman.
And I'm Monica Shearer.
It's been a week, Monica.
Well, usually is, I feel like.
Oh, it's been a week. I will spare everybody the details. But it's
your Monday was amazing, and your Tuesday was amazing, right? Like,
Monday was great. Tuesday, it just kind of went on a slide. There were some highs, there were some lows.
Yeah.
It was like a drama.
Yeah.
You have a fun party tonight.
Yeah, I've got like 9,000 5-year-olds coming for like a swim party and pizza and cake and stuff tonight.
I don't think it gets better than that.
I mean, it just depends on what you think is better, but it's going to be fun. They're going to have a good time. Somewhat ready.
And you said it's a Zelda theme.
Yes.
Which I didn't even know Zelda was around, and that's so exciting.
Yes, it's made its way back. Both of my boys, one is 8 and my littlest just turned 5, so it's the Breath of the Wild themed thing.
Wait,
so
is that the name of the game now?
That's the name of the game. Zelda. Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, I don't know. But it's Breath of the Wild, and Zelda has a new look. He's light blue, and he has flowing hair, and all the...
He had to get updated.
Had to get a little update for that 2019 crowd. But
yeah, because I don't remember, like, as a kid, we would have these major tournaments with Zelda, like with my dad and my brother. It got really intense.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize he was back.
Yeah, he's back with a vengeance.
He's back with a new look.
Because my 8-year-old and my 5-year-old, they are shield, sword, ears, the whole thing. They're ready to roll.
You're going to have fun, but we wish you luck as well.
Thank you.
We wish you luck.
Pray for me.
Please. You get pizza. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Tonight, well, see, and cake. Hello. Battle in the Saddle, Kentucky Horse Park. We talked about it earlier this week. If you don't have plans tonight, come on out to the horse park. Doors open 5:30. It's all going to benefit the park, which puts on so many amazing events here.
Awesome.
It'll be a lot of fun. My main goal is just to stay on the horse.
There you go.
So that's our goals for the weekend. All right, this is a topic we were supposed to talk about last week.
Yes.
And we didn't get to it because we chatted too much. Shocking. Typical. But I think it's kind of funny because everybody plans their wedding and thinks it's going to be this romantic and fairy tale event, and there's all these traditions. Turns out they're not all so romantic.
No, I don't know that anything about an actual wedding ceremony originated in romance.
Yeah, or even like nice.
Yeah.
Some of it's kind of gross.
Yeah, it's like brokering a deal or something.
So if you stuck with the normal wedding traditions when you got married, honoring things such as wearing a, I think it's is it bouquet or the ring?
Wearing your veil.
The veil, wearing a veil. Carrying a bouquet. There we go.
Yep.
And things like that, which are very, very, very normal. Well, apparently that's not all so great. Most everyone tries to stay true to the wedding traditions that our society has become accustomed to. But once you know the weird, dark, and disturbing historical background of these customs, you may never look at any marriage ceremony the same way again. Let's take a look at some of the, quote, disturbing origins of some wedding traditions. Number 1, the groom must not see the bride the night before the wedding. Did you do that?
I saw my husband the night before, but just not the day of. There was no communication the day of.
Oh, so you did do that. But isn't the rehearsal like the night before usually?
I mean, we saw each other the night before because we did have that rehearsal. So
yeah. Do they mean like maybe not staying together? Well, apparently the tradition originates from the days of arranged marriages, when marriage was a business arrangement and not something done for love. Couples weren't allowed to see each other because they were afraid one of them would run.
I mean, you know, if you've never met the other person.
Well, I still feel like that's a legit worry, even if you know
today.
the person.
Yeah. Maybe I should have rethought my life.
Yeah, I'm just, you kind of gave that day to kind of soak it in and absorb. Number 2, we talked about wearing a veil. Beautiful, dainty, pretty.
Yes.
Not so much. During the times of arranged marriages, again, the bride's face would be covered until the groom had committed to the marriage, as the fear was he'd think she was ugly and run.
It's just mean, you know?
I think it's great.
Wife might be busted, so you got to keep her face covered.
I mean, I guess they didn't really have Facebook or dating apps, so you couldn't see who your potential, no filters. There was no Insta work back there. All right, cake. You're having cake tonight. Did you do a whole like ceremony for the cutting of the cake?
I mean, you know, we just kind of hollered at everybody and we're like, we're getting ready to cut this thing. But we didn't do. Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah, did you feed each other the cake?
We fed each other, and I might have had a little bit of a hard shove on my husband, but he was I think relatively nice to me.
Makeup, hello.
Thank you.
Do you know how much
Makeup
that costs?
and hair and all the things.
All right, well, apparently that entire ceremony dates back to ancient Rome when the broken cake represented the breaking of the bride's virginity.
Well,
there you go.
glad to know.
So I don't know what shoving it in the face means.
I don't know.
All right, a bride's bouquet. Traditionally, the bride also throws her bouquet, chucking away a small fortune in the hope that a single lady will catch it and be the next down the aisle. But
I've also heard like carrying the bouquet was also to kind of like you smell the fragrance of the flowers to not smell everybody else's.
that's what it was, because they didn't really shower all the
Yeah.
time, so they
Yeah.
had to cover their smell with flowers. So
There's a thought.
you may rethink your wedding traditions and maybe just go to the courthouse.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, stay with us. We have the author of the new children's book, Intentionally the Very Best Me, joining us after the break. This is Midday Kentucky. Thanks for staying with us. The book, Intentionally the Very Best Me, addresses intentionality, did I say that right? Of respect, trust, responsibility, and global citizenship with age-appropriate examples that reinforce social and emotional skills. Author Kathy Fields is here with us today to tell us what inspired her with this vision for this book. Thank you so much for being here, Kathy.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your background, because you've been here in Central Kentucky for a long time. You know a lot about kids. You were superintendent for the Jessamine County Schools?
I was superintendent and principal and director of curriculum and a host of wonderful opportunities in Jessamine County, and actually retired from Jessamine County after 33 years of service.
That's amazing.
So you know kids very, very
do.
well.
I do.
Very, very well. So what prompted you to write a children's book?
Well, one of the things that I realized as I was working both in public education and now in the private sector is that there are lots of resources for teachers, but not so many for parents and for children. So I decided that I would take what I had been using for many, many years as an administrator and as a principal and as a mom, and put it in the form of a children's book so that we would have a resource that we could actually use in the classroom.
So this is definitely geared more towards like a parent reading it to their child.
Actually, it's something that a teacher or a parent could read to the child, and then it's also geared for a child to actually
To
read
it themselves.
read themselves.
I love that.
Yes.
Well, what is the book about? Let's talk about that.
The book is all about the tenets of respect and responsibility, care, optimism. One of the things that we have to remember is that children aren't born pre-programmed. Everything that they know, we teach them, either by something we do intentionally, unintentionally, or through our modeling. And so we have to be very, very mindful of what it is that we want our children to know. And if we want them to know respect and responsibility and all of those wonderful characteristics that make a good citizen, we have to teach that.
Makes sense.
Those are all hard things really to be intentional about yourself as a parent to remember every day, you know, because sometimes I lose my patience, you know, like I'm not always super respectful, like all those things, but it's nice to kind of know that there's a book out there that your child's easily going to absorb, that you could read every night and go over.
Exactly, and the pictures are wonderful. I had a local artist who worked with me, and one of the things that I wanted children to see themselves. So we have children who have braces and children who are in a wheelchair, or who have curly hair or a different color skin.
Sure.
So that children could see themselves in this book as well.
Everybody can relate.
Every page is a mini lesson. So teachers can use it, parents can use it, and children can have those conversations with themselves that matter as well.
Which it's such a great thing to have a starting point to start those conversations. What kind of feedback are you getting from kids, students, parents?
I had a wonderful opportunity to actually share this with a classroom in Jessamine County, Red Oak Elementary. It's an invitational school, so it was a great place for me to launch the book. And they were so excited, and they had been talking about the very things that we were talking about in the book. They had lots of comments that they wanted to share with me, particularly the one about putting our phones down or our devices down when we're talking. I think sometimes even as adults, we forget that there's a person on the other side of the table. And we need to look up and acknowledge them and not be so consumed. And so children were very, very frank and honest when they said, sometimes mom forgets that I'm here in the room and I want them to pay attention to me.
Kids are the best
Yes,
tattletales.
ma'am.
They're the most
They really
honest audience.
Absolutely.
Your book is out now. How can we get a hold of that?
Absolutely, it is out, and you can get that through my publishing company, bemorethancore.com. That's my actual website, or the invitationaleducation.org website, which is the nonprofit that I work for as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
and thank
you.
you
This is
for
awesome.
writing a book like this. It's so much needed in our schools.
Thanks
and
for having
our
me.
parents helps them
Yes,
out.
absolutely.
You can
Little
use it for your
reminder.
birthday party tonight.
there you go.
Absolutely,
Get them calmed down real
absolutely.
quick.
We're giving her luck. Thank you again, Kathy. Stay with
Thank
us.
you.
We have more after the break. Thanks for staying with us. Our next guests are here to help us welcome in the fall season with some adorable handmade door hangers. We have the owner of Empire Woodwork, Molly, here, and the owner of Harkness Edwards Winery, Nene Stone, here to give us all the details on how you can make these door hangers for your own homes as well. Thank you both so much for being here.
Yes, glad to be here.
Well, it's so fun to always have a table with Halloween decorations and wine. So I love that you are mixing the two together.
Of course.
Well, tell us how you're doing that.
So I'm going to be hosting an event at Harkness Edwards. It's going to be a door hanger paint party. So these fabulous things that you do see right now are going to be options that you can come and paint them any way you want to. So when you show up, you'll just have a plain one and you can just go to town. Make it the way you want it to.
Cute.
Well, and Molly makes it really easy to make you feel like you are an artist. So you already have these pre-cut and everything, and all we're gonna do is paint them?
Exactly. I do have stencils too, so as you can see, like this boo that has the polka dots on them, you don't even have to freehand that. A stencil is there for you. I'm telling you, it's foolproof.
She's very, very, very good about that. But you're kind of upping the antics, and you get a glass of wine in this as well.
Yep.
Tell us about your winery, Nene.
Well, it's Harkness Edwards Vineyards, and if you know where Halls on the River is, you can find Harkness Edwards Vineyards. It's just right up the hill from Halls on the River toward Winchester, and we have all sorts of wines, anything from red to white to rosé, dry to sweet in all categories, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a beautiful location. If y'all have never been out there, I highly, highly, highly suggest coming out and visiting us and getting a glass of wine and painting a door hanger. It's going to be awesome.
You have amazing labels on
I
your
know,
wine.
thank
Speaking
you.
of art, they're so fun.
They
I was
really
looking
are.
at this one over here earlier. I'm like, oh, this
Yeah.
is enticing.
Yeah, really,
My
really
dad
fun.
does a lot of the labels, and he likes making them really creative and different. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All this artsy stuff.
Yeah,
I love
it
it.
is.
yeah.
No, I'm just saying I love that this is kind of foolproof because I don't have like a steady hand, so knowing that you can kind of go in there and
Well,
knock
and
it
you know,
out.
drinking
I
a
got you.
glass helps you.
Oh, for
that
sure.
brings out
Relax.
your
It's
creative
actually
side.
something that I require. I usually say, okay, now have a drink, have one more drink, and now let's paint.
You are Picasso. Work it. You
got this.
Right. So, what are the details of the event? You come out. It's this Sunday. Is there any food involved? And we know there's wine. What's all involved?
There are cheese trays available for
Yes.
purchase.
There you go.
So if you want a cheese tray.
As for the paint class, ticket includes one glass of wine. You can sign up beforehand, or I actually will have a couple extras. So if you do show up, you can purchase a ticket when you're there, but you will get, for just $35, it's one door hanger with one glass of wine and all of the paint colors you could imagine.
That's awesome because you would pay more than that for something that somebody else did. So
Right.
That's awesome.
That's very true.
And you get to have a fun experience,
Yeah,
a great
it's
wine,
really fun.
and you
Yeah,
can
with
make something
people.
pretty.
And bring your friends. It's a good Sunday activity.
I love it. Just can't.
Relax out there. Molly, what kind of options do we have as far as the door hangers?
So these are two of the options right here, and then there's one, there were some pictures earlier that the Happy Halloween is another
Yeah.
option, and then of course, because we're in Kentucky, the Welcome Y'all sign.
Which you always do.
I do
it's
like
kind of
it.
your signature thing. And I said that sounded like, gosh, Molly, you always do it.
I know.
So, no, it's a signature thing because Molly's been on our show quite a few times, and you always have something going on. You do the bourbon barrel heads, all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad you kept the Kentucky.
I do like to embrace the
theme.
Kentucky.
Well, and it's football season.
Yeah.
You need something like that up there, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Have you ever done something like this, Monica?
Once or twice I have done this, but I haven't seen any as intricate.
Well, you haven't done it right.
So
You haven't
evidently
done it with
not.
me.
Evidently I'm messing it up. So yeah, but these are.
But it's okay because even if you can't make it here on Sunday, I actually do private parties. So I will come to your house. I set everything up. I bring everything. All you have to do is bring friends.
But the $1 million question is, can we do private parties at the vineyards? Doing paint parties.
You
I'm just saying. That's going to keep us out of trouble. Right?
So that way there's no cleanup and endless amounts of wine.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just trying to be, be creative here.
Yes.
Mimi, tell us a little bit more about the vineyards. Can we just go anytime and go have a tasting?
Absolutely. So we're open on Saturday from noon to 6 and Sunday from 1 to 6. Open to the public. Come out, have a cheese tray, glass of wine. Just sit out back. We have a beautiful view with Adirondack chairs, and it's great.
All right.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. I think we have plans for the weekend already. And how can we sign up for your class?
You can either do it online or you guys can show up. I can't promise that I'll have enough options available, so you should probably get your tickets.
Do it online. All right. Well, thank you both so much for being here. Monica, thank you. Good luck at the birthday party tonight.
Y'all think of me.
Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you again Monday.